Yes, we've got a guest in, and we're going to pass you over to Kieran now, and he's going to tell you all about himself and what he's doing in the park in Dare in February.
Yeah, and a very big welcome to the Verbal World from
welcome,
Rhondda
Kieran.
Radio.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Paul. So, good afternoon. Pnawn da, everyone. So my name's Kieran Bailey, and I'm here today to talk about a musical theatre show that I've written. It's called Turning the Wheel. And I suppose before I go any further, I should mention that it wouldn't have been possible without funding from the Arts Council of Wales and Pennacymoedd Wind Farm, along with RCT Theatres. So I'd like to say a big thank you to everybody who's put money into the project. So I'll just tell a little bit about it. It's set in the Rhondda Valleys and loosely covers a time period of around 1890 to 1910.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so this was a time when people were kind of flooding into the valleys of South Wales from all over the UK and beyond, due to the discovery of quality steam coal in the area, of course. So I'm focusing in particular on the Welsh Italian community that came to the Rhondda Valleys from a town called Bardi in the north of Italy. And they ran the cafes that you may be familiar with if you're from my era, really, and earlier, of course. We touch on the issues of inequality between the coal owners of the time and the coal miners themselves, and the effect that the immigration had on the Welsh language. And of course, above all else, it kind of celebrates the unique community which I believe still exists today, in the Rhondda, and the culture that was born out of those conditions at the time, really. So as Denise said, we've got a few songs that I would like to share.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So first of all, I should point out that these are shortened versions of the actual songs themselves, because obviously it's radio. I don't want to bore everyone for hours on end. But
no, not at all.
So the first one I'd like to play is the opening number of the show, and it's called Ciao Siamai. So the title may suggest it's kind of focusing on the Welsh and Italian cultures that have mixed in the Rhondda Valleys. And we have our two families, the Bevan family, who are of Welsh heritage, and the Mancini family, who are from the Welsh Italian community. Mm-hmm. So this song kind of takes us through a typical morning in Treorchy. Everything's opening up. The characters are expressing their love for the community. And it ends with a little bit of Louisa Mancini, the daughter of the cafe owner, who's she thinks that her existence is kind of mundane. She wants to leave the valley. She wants to have a better life as she sees it. So yeah, I'll stop talking and let the music do the talking.
Out into the winding terraced streets to join the miners' cavalry. March on to the mines, shops and cafes spring to life. Ladies chat with much ado, stories that aren't always true. The river's black, the skies are grey. It's just like every other day today. And I hear myself say, I wouldn't have it any other way. Morning, Mr. Mancini.
Ah, buongiorno. Ciao, Shumai, and welcome to my home. Please come sit down, make it your own. Cafe de Mancini, the hub of the community, cross-section of society. You'll find them all in here with me. Children with no money wanting sweets, suppose it keeps them off the streets. And then the evening crowd, they'd rather drink, they're not allowed. They fill my tables all night long and sing to me their favorite songs. But it's a meager price to pay to keep them out of trouble's way. And I hear myself say, I wouldn't have it any other way. So ciao, buongiorno, come va? Situiti heddiw bore da. There are many ways to say good morning, how are you today? Try the Welsh Italian way. Looks like frothy coffee's here to stay.
Every day the same routine, what they've done and where they've been, never something unforeseen. Please tell me that I'm allowed to dream. I'll get away someday, beyond the mines and factory gates. Tell me there is more to be than what I see in front of me each day. As I hear myself say, I'll surely have this any other way.
Oh, what a song.
Thank you very much. So that was the opening number, Ciao Shamai. So the next song I'd like to play for you now is actually one of the only ones which I've decided to play in its entirety, but it's only like a 2-minute long song. And it's written as a male voice choir style piece. Obviously, we've got a famous male voice choir, Treorchy male voice choir. So
yes, yeah.
It's kind of celebrating the culture of the area. So this particular song is the miners' song, and they're expressing their mixed feelings of working down the mines. So on the one hand, of course, there's a great sense of pride and camaraderie, and on the other is a knowledge of the daily danger that they all face, and the poor quality of life that they unfortunately had to endure at the time. Yeah. So this is the miners' song.
Okay, Paul.
Yeah, and...
Hold your lamps tight as the sunlight's taken from your eyes. Pray as we descend that we shall meet again to rise. And though the voice of amity rings loudest underground, keep aware, for many here a resting place have found. Every night I ask my God to save me from this place. Take my pick and shovel, wipe the coal dust from my face. But if my prayer were answered and he took away my pain, he'd have to take a part of me that cannot be explained. So fill your drums and lungs with coal to keep the wolves at bay. Cool head and sharp mandrel, boys, remember what we say. Though we derive from far and wide with fathers, brothers, sons, we live and die with miners' pride. The valley makes us one.
Oh, these are absolutely brilliant songs.
Oh, thank you very much. Cheers.
We could play them like for the rest of the day almost.
So yeah, so that was the miners' song, obviously, as you can hear, written in a kind of Treorchy male voice choir style. So the next one is a song called Tiger Bay, and this takes us out of the valleys and down to the old Tiger Bay, Cardiff docks, for those of you who don't know. And this song is kind of, in contrast, it's a celebration of the cosmopolitan nature of Tiger Bay at the time. So as we will hear now in the lyrics of the song, there were people from over 50 different nations, 50 different countries who settled in Cardiff at this time, from places like Scandinavia or Somalia and even as far away as China. So they all came together and formed this unique community, which obviously it still exists today. You know, there's still a very cosmopolitan community down there. And so it describes some of the extravagant nightlife and the goings-on, which I'm probably not allowed to discuss on the radio at this time of day. But yeah, I've edited it accordingly for the time of day. So yeah, this is Tiger Bay.
Okay, let's go.
I've never been there.
Step off the train into the jungle, the melting pot of Tiger Bay. You'll find seduction and indulgence, fascination on display. King Cole has caused a mass migration. He's placed the whole world at our feet. You'll find the flags of over 50 different nations on these streets. When that siren blows, it's time for us to play. Come see the cabaret, the nightlife of the bay. So many ways to throw away your working wage. The ladies are of the night, take to the stage. Let's start on.
Oh, great song. And who wrote all these songs? They're brilliant.
Yeah, so these are all songs that I've written.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I got during lockdown. I actually was awarded a music composition grant from Arts Council Wales by a company called Theatr na Nog, who are based in Neath. So I used that money then to just because everybody in lockdown was kind of looking for something to do. I just ploughed all my time into researching and developing this story and writing these songs and getting them recorded. So I've used like lots of local people, like there's a young girl we heard on the first recording called Georgia Nicole from Treherbert. So she's on the recording, and a lady called Laura Mansell as well, who's we just heard in the background of that song actually doing some backing vocals for me. So yeah, just kind of used that grant then during lockdown, and something positive hopefully came out
of it,
as a result of it. Yeah,
it can't be easy, can it, to write songs?
Well, I suppose it's kind of like what I just lock myself away in the room and just play my piano and just anything goes for a while, and just it's like I think Noel Gallagher once described it as fishing. So you're just there all day. You might not catch anything, but if you don't go, you're not going to catch it. So you kind of it's hard.
That's a good analogy, actually.
Yeah, not mine. Yeah, thank you, Noel Gallagher. yeah. But so the next song I'd like to play is the kind of love song of the musical. I think every musical has to have a love song moment. So we have the two kind of main characters here are Thomas Bevan, who's from the Welsh family, and Louisa Mancini, who's from the Welsh Italian community, as we discussed earlier. So she's kind of like I suppose a feminist of the day. She wants something more than what she sees around her, and she's determined now to leave the valleys in search of a better life. But Thomas Bevan has chosen this moment to declare his undying love for Louisa, and he's basically asking her to stay. So this is a kind of duet between the two of them. She wants to leave, and he's saying, "Come, stay with me, and I'll support you." And I'll again let the song do the talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just let me say, let me go,
Let me stay.
let me live
Let me give every part of my life
to you.
and this is all that I ask, that I look in your eyes and my doubts fade away. And now I know I'm never leaving, and I know I'll never have to say I'm sorry, because I'm where I'm meant to be. You're perfect to me. This is where I'm meant to be. You're perfect to me.
Wow.
Thanks very much. So that was You're Perfect to Me, and we were just discussing with me about the talent in the Rhondda.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I mean, that young lady's got a lovely voice.
Yeah.
Oh, she has.
So she's just from Treherbert, like I said, Georgia Nicole, and it's fine. All of these people were sourced locally for some of them from Cardiff, some of them from up here. But we were just saying that there's a culture in South Wales, I think, of this singing, playing instruments, dancing, and stuff. So we're really lucky to have these people around us all the time, I suppose. So that was You're Perfect to Me, the love song of the show. So the last one I'd like to play now is it's called The Riot, and what's yours is mine, brace yourselves. So this is kind of where everything comes to a head in the show. So Thomas has convinced the miners to strike for better pay and conditions in response to, there was a kind of cartel of coal owners at the time who were deliberately keeping miners' wages way down. So this is them striking in protest of that, and it's based around the events of the Tonypandy riots in 1910. So at this time, combined police forces from around the UK were actually brought to the Rhondda to try and crush the miners' movement. And
Yeah.
I think it was actually Winston Churchill actually authorised, he wasn't Prime Minister at the time, but I think he was Home Secretary, and he actually authorised the British Army to be sent to crush the miners' movement. Yeah, so as you can imagine, it was a big thing. So yeah, this is the riot, and it's we'll hear Thomas Bevan kind of instilling kind of fighting spirit into the miners and saying, we have no other choice. We have to fight this. We can't go back to work on these conditions. Yeah. So the whole song would feature the other side of the argument as well, from the police and the the army forces. But I've shortened it, so we'll just hear the miners' version.
Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward.
Right, children of the 3 days. We need work, Thomas. It's over. There'll be far more of them than there will be of us. We can't possibly win, and they're not fighting on empty stomachs either. I'd rather no wages than no wages at all. It's time to take our place, boys. Though I don't know what we'll face, boys. What I do know is we'll face it all as one. Tonight the men they send to us will try to put an end to us, but we know that the fight has just begun. 'Cause it feels like it's been this way for us for far too long, and the lies that have been planted in our brains have led us to believe that we are weak while they are strong. But I swear to you tonight that's gonna change. And I hear them for an army of men ready and willing to take our job. Yes, and what happens then, Thomas, eh?
Well, this sounds like an amazing show. It really does, doesn't it?
Man.
And when is it on in the Park in Dare?
Yeah, so we've got a showing of I've had some money from, like I said, the Arts Council and Pennacymoedd Wind Farm, and we're going to do 2 weeks rehearsals and kind of put together a showcase, a shortened version of the show. Obviously, you'll hear more of the songs than you have today if you want to come. So it's a Friday, the 24th of February at 7:30 p.m. in Studio Een. So that's the for me and you is probably the old bar downstairs in Park and Dare, the bar area. Yeah, so the new Studio Een, which looks fantastic, and I can't wait to use the space. So yeah, it's going to be there on the 24th of February, if anybody would like to come. So and if you want to keep up to date, I've got like an Instagram page and a Facebook page, Turning the Wheel Musical. Yeah, so it's kind of like, if this goes well, I'd like to see the musical go to a full stage at some point, like a full production.
Yeah, brilliant.
So that's the idea really, is to showcase it now and hopefully get enough interest from the local people and from producers or whoever might be watching and listening, and hopefully we can take it further. There was some kind of talk about when the Eisteddfod comes to RCT in 2024, I believe.
Yeah, yes.
That we might even be able to do a Welsh language version of the show for the Eisteddfod, which would be
that'd be great.
Oh, that would be lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So I'd like, obviously I wanted in English too, because I don't want to exclude anybody who can't speak Welsh. I want it to be seen and heard by as many people as possible. But I think if it could be part of the Eisteddfod in 2024, that would be amazing.
Well, there's definitely a group of us from Rhondda Radio going on the 24th of February, and we're looking forward to that.
Should be a great night, shouldn't it?
Yeah,
it really should. Well, thank you very much, Kieran. That was really, really good.
Thanks.
Thank you very, very much for coming in.
Thank you for inviting me. Cheers.
That was better than good, that was.
Okay,
So,
Paul. Yeah,
what have we got coming up next?
Walking Back to Happiness.